Hey everyone, hello.
Hey, Mr.
Hey,
Ash.
Mr.
Hello, Mr. Mufare.
Hello.
What's
Hey,
going
brother
on
Ash.
here?
Nothing
What's
but
going on here?
trouble. Nothing but
Is
trouble, Ash.
the OTECH Pros Roundtable. We're just spotlighting founders who are doing great things around the world, bringing them forward. Today we had a lady called Aseda. She lives in Atlanta, but she's in Burkina Faso helping her mother who is sick. She just, I think she has network problems, so she has disconnected. But something sparked a discussion about something that you said on 360 when you talk about data being the commodity.
361?
OP
What I miss?
360,
Yeah, we did. We were able to dig one out, Ash.
big
Yeah.
one out. When you talk about data being the commodity of the century, it sparked something in
Absolutely.
my head. So we've just been
Yeah.
talking about data, the value of data, and everything. It's just been a very spirited conversation. So we are very very honored to have you here, Mr. Ash. We know your schedule, how tight it is for you to find time, even these few minutes to be with us. So it's just an honor, and we are very grateful. So we just open the
Absolutely.
door to you.
I appreciate you, brother, and I think the honor is mine. It's always a pleasure to connect with everyone. Uh, I think that's one thing. I'm glad you spot that, and I also got some good feedback about what was addressed about some changes in the
Yes,
industry about traffic. That is one thing.
yes,
But let me tackle the topic from a different perspective, if you allow me.
sure.
Uh, so the first thing is, uh, as much as we know, there is a global race on AI and data. Whoever
Mhm.
controls or is ahead of the game in those will certainly rule the world and will set new records in success. If you measure success by profitability, by revenue, yes, that is right. However, what happened in the first uh, web and digital boom, I'm going to say late 90s, that's when it really became visible, and the early 2000, the millennium.
Mhm.
Uh, we know that it did simplify our life. It gave us so many options, and it gave an opportunity to millions across the globe. On the other hand, there was that dark side of the internet 2.0, and it became more problematic and it became more um, with the theme of greed, monopoly, manipulation, abuse, to the point it became criminal. It was,
Yes.
for example, I'm going to say one thing. In my personal life, I will say this. There were more problems I'm aware of personally came from Facebook than good. Nobody can tell me what I know and what I don't know. Okay. I personally know more problems came through that than help for humanity. You might see that bright side, very good, but I've seen the ugly side of it. So, which both sides are true. I'm concerned about the downside of that boom. At the same time, there's good with it. Where there is evil, there is also some progress or at least a lesson learned. To sum all of this together, not just the social media, all communication platforms that we come to know, search engine, all of that, many good things came in, and again, we've learned a lot of negativity, whether from the corporate side or from the from the users. Okay, so I've been observing and watching that. I've been taking in, observing everything happening. Um, I believe in the power of the internet. I believe in the power of artificial intelligence. I believe in the power of data and bringing the world together. If we do it uh, cleanly and in a clean way, in a positive way, in a respectful way, and without any abuse. That is not happening so far. So that's where Unpassive come to place. We envisioned a cleaner environment to bring the world together, and the drive and the motive is not what every other IT company is after, which is control and profit. So we go back to the data. What we want to do is we want to make a healthier, more trustworthy environment to the users. And money will follow. I'm not opposing that. Okay. But why not include the users in the game? So there's a big distinguished, difference between any traditional IT AI platform and between what we're doing. For the first time, I'm more hopeful. For the first time, and I'm talking about watching the entire journey of the internet and digital field. Uh, I'm more hopeful. We have to go back to the original human element in everything we do. So we're humanizing that concept, and we're not using and controlling the data to per se uh, have that domination and monopoly. Quite the opposite is to be freed and liberated from that control, so we can have better flexibility to the user's advantage. That is, something that is worth to fight. I understand. Okay, it sounds simple, all right, but if we succeed to do it, and make no mistake, we will. Okay, as long as we're breathing, we're going to fight until we do it. Uh, this is not good news for the others. They had it easily. They had it with no challenges, and for us to come and kind of shake up that honeymoon they had, they're going to resist. They have been resistant already. It doesn't matter who's involved, whether other IT companies, whether strangers, whether the public, whether haters, it doesn't matter. But it's no secret that we faced enormous amount of resistance all across from every direction. And that made me personally believe and realize how powerful is the concept that we're working on. How impactful it is if this is happening ahead of the overall change. So we want to go back to the data center and having a more positive, clean, secure environment to utilize the data of the users globally. When I said you will be surprised about how competitive it is, for two reasons. First of all, the first side of it is the technical aspect of it. I heard Tony Robbins said a while ago, years ago, that if you want to be successful, like Bob Takusi, for example, you just watch what he's doing, and eventually you'll follow his success and model him in a way. Okay, want to see how engineer Mike is doing? Okay, you want to be like him? Just see what he's doing, study him. All right, he's basically telling you what he's doing, or Collins, or Mr. DeGarmo. They're telling you exactly what they're doing, and just follow that, model it. It doesn't have to be a replica or clone, but you will gain that. So this is not a new concept to me. When I learned that, I said, I get it. Yeah. Okay. So it's like, take them as a teacher ahead of you, and they went through many years, or a couple of decades in the field, and you can just grab that uh, expertise instantly. That's the information age we live in. So the technical part is, what about watching not one, not two, not three, every successful data center provider and host and all of that, and take only, well, everybody has, again, the pros and cons. Okay, so what about just picking the very best of this, the very best of this, the very best of this, the very best of this? Okay, and only, okay, take that part and avoid the downside of everything, plus to spice it up, add your own creativity, because we always wish that if it was done this way or that way. You got room if it's your business. If you're just following somebody, there's no perfect model, but a collection of several models, okay, can make it more powerful and add your own. And the other side, remember I said, so this is the technical part, but also our approach is more human. That uh, expertise instantly. That's the information age we live in. So the technical part is, what about watching not one, not two, not three, every successful data center provider and host and all of that, and take only, well, everybody has, again, the pros and cons. Okay, so what about just picking the very best of this, the very best of this, the very best of this, the very best of this? Okay, and only, okay, take that part and avoid the downside of everything, plus to spice it up, add your own creativity, because we always wish that if it was done this way or that way. You got room if it's your business. If you're just following somebody, there's no perfect model, but a collection of several models, okay, can make it more powerful and add your own. And the other side, remember I said, so this is the technical part, but also our approach is more humane, is more like, we're not going to do this to manipulate or steal the data and sell it, and charge, and this is how we do. No, if we do it, just the technical part I mentioned, which is no secret, you're already ahead of the game. You're still more attractive. Now, to perfect it, add the heart aspect to it, the human element, and don't abuse people, and treat them like real partners or like your family. Don't money will follow. So you still can be very successful and compete with those players. Not in any way we intend to take them down, or hurt, or no. Everybody will have. We just have a different model. It's not a replica. I'm never motivated to reinvent the wheel in anything. But if you have a better way to produce things, why not? And you cut time, like, so you're telling me now 2020? Yeah, we've been learning for 2 to 3 decades. How does this work? Do you think we've learned a thing or two? Absolutely. So, and I will tell you, I'm extremely confident we're going to set a model that will be the leading when it comes to AI driven and super advanced data center and hosting and data utilization. And I can give you a hint, okay? And it's not shocking, okay? Which not only you can take the actual, because I can go give me Google, all right, or hardware, give me HP or give me Dell. I apologize if I uh, sound a bit techie, for the public. Forgive me, but
You're
you
good.
know, I have to level up with my pros here. Okay, so and they understand the language. So you go to this or that. Dell will give you exactly why are we better, because I need your proposal, or Huawei, or any Lenovo, for example. So you can go directly, and they'll give you the best of themselves. So I have learned one thing, and voluntarily they're giving me that information at their will, free will. Plus, okay, what about others who have something unique and rather powerful, but not necessarily in the data center, not directly as a data center host or provider? Maybe there's a Chinese company that they're doing something. Oh, I got the idea. If we apply this in the data center structure, what about Oracle, which is, pure? Okay, what about this and that? So you get one thing, and you just have to pay attention. You got enormous amount of information, but if you don't have the goodwill to make something positive out of all that information, not to manipulate, because you will be reinventing the wheel in that case. If you're just going to, well, yeah, I can do that, but it's costly, or it's complicated, or not much profit. Okay, if then you go back to the same cycle they're in. So we are again a league of our own. Okay, and we're taking the best from everyone and adding our own touch, and extracting more information from other players in direct information, right? It could be in a different sector. It doesn't have to be in the IT. I've seen some intelligent things in the health department, or health sector, for example. I said, what if we apply this technique here, or this structure? What about the human resources? What about the So collectively, you come up with something, and avoid all the critic to them, which is, for example, the complexity of everything. Okay, uh, hello Amazon. What about AWS? I mean, okay. What about uh, the not user friendly? You gotta be a developer, and there's no love whatsoever. Like, what about that touch? They're all lack. Microsoft, you just swallow it. You need water to swallow everything. It's not like you're in love with it, right? It is so complicated. Not anybody gets it. Okay, and um, it's not attractive. Come on, it's done just to function, barely function. They didn't pay attention how user friendly it is, or the UI and UX. Guys. Okay, so it's zero interest in that. Have I wish we can show like AWS instance to people. It is dead ugly. If you're telling me 20 years ago, no. There are things looked way better 20 years ago. These people have no love for what they're doing. They just love the dollar. That's it. Uh, so that's a difference. So we can, it is possible. I want you to believe it. There's always the first time. There's always, people who would advocate something cleaner, something cheaper. And I can tell you the critic. We have to avoid that. I'm gonna constantly remind you, it's not an easy mission. They're gonna resist, and it's not easy to put all of that and avoid, again, to to avoid the cost and the challenges they have. Some of them, they bought hardware that is years ago, and some pieces, whether it's the racks or this and that, and the switches and the hardware, the motherboard, this, that, they still have it, and they just like, they're buried. They need to constantly replace 3 years, 5 years lifespan, and they need, so they need massive place. But somebody comes in 2024 now, things are much smaller, more powerful, okay, better lifespan, all right. And what if you come up with a genius way that, okay, you have an open unlimited, I'm going to shock these guys here, no, okay, what if you come up with a way, okay, that you have a contract or a certain deal with the hardware suppliers? I pay you a flat rate, but I need it always refreshed. I don't need to pay you and rebuy and repurchase and one by one and all of that. Is basically you buy a furnished house. I don't care what it is, but I want it always functional. All right? And new. If I see a scratch or something, replace it. I paid for that. Open ticket. There's always a first time. I'm just telling you. So is it possible now? Do you think we can come up with the best data center hosting data utilization ever existed? It is so possible if you have that mentality, and if you have the heart aspect to the user advantage. You definitely have a winner and a game changer, 100%. And those guys will come and host with you. What if you have a solution for the energy consumption? The two predators or worse animals in the game, number one is the energy, right, and the hardware. If you overcome that you have it covered at not a reasonable but a very, very cost efficient level, you crush everybody. Dirt cheap service, dirt cheap service, but world class futuristic solution. And when I said the traffic aspect, things have changed, okay? Well, when we were talking about traffic, we were talking about some traditional ways as well. But we've been working and um, structuring something rather more powerful to us available. And the supply and the demand is massive. We know how, like, that's the next thing after the data. So what is needed? People need followers, they need audience, buyers, customers, leads, whatever you call them, or they perhaps need traffic. Traffic is equal to human, not just robotic things. So when you control verified data, real people, that's another thing, clean data, and you have it, you basically have a mall for the 5.35 billion people. Round it up, let's say 5.5 billion people. Let's say we have a community. Don't we say that the global, the world is a small village now because of that technology? But we decide we want to meet today. All right, we're going to discuss something. 5 billion people. Where do we go? There's no place. When you succeed to have that hub and that lobby for every internet user, you have them, or every device user, and you attract them in one beautiful environment, not only safe but also rather healthy and positive, just the good in us. You own the world, you own everything, okay? And now, what traffic are you talking about? You are the traffic. So you be the hunted, not the hunter, because you got all the data. All you have to do is now the next level, or to piece it up, let that AI connect people. So how many people, how many buyers do you want for your, I don't know, shawarma or falafel shop, right? Or taco shop? How many do you need on your AI would serve you? You need 100, you need 500. How many can you do a day? If you are a tire shop, whatever, a dentist, whatever your business is, or a business online, okay, or an educator, a trainer, you want certain traffic and selected people. If you have the data with the power of AI, so we talked about the power of the internet, the power of the data, and now the power of AI to connect all of that and just bridge the gap and connect people and fields and business owners and buyers together. That's it, the followers. Is it a 3 minute coding thing and you're done? You're insane if you think it's that easy. It's not that easy, okay? But it's worth it. And if you have that clarity and you're after it, all you need is the right talent to do it. Speaking of the right talent, okay, uh, what I want to sum up this uh, conversation with today, if you allow me, I don't know if you have more time.
Absolutely, Mr. Ash. You are
Okay,
blowing my mind. My mind is already
thank you.
in heaven.
I appreciate you. I learned from you. Believe it or not, I learned so
Thank
much
you.
from you,
Thank you.
and your positivity and your support is uh, truly inspiring, like and motivating. Like you've got to make sure we and that's how I feel.
Thank
We
you.
have to make sure we deliver up to your intelligence, your expectations,
Thank you, sir.
with all the respect. So that's why I'm the one who's honored to be with you, because you don't get average people all the time. Sometimes I got dumb people. I live with some, yeah, but
Thank you, Ash.
but to have people that are ahead of you, give me that, 5 times a day, 10 times a day, never enough. So back to the thing, I just want to end up with this. So all right, one of the obvious things we've learned in on passive is not to open our mouth, okay, ahead of our action.
Yep.
It's very clear, and you've seen that before, okay. um, so it is not a secret to you right now, there might be something going on, okay? And some would be attracted to the negative. That's who you are, okay? You might think, oh, something disaster happened. Yeah, it could be, okay? If that's what you think. And if you're thinking, if you know us and you know our intention, you might think, okay, well, there has to be something good. It looks like they're cooking something. Okay, you're right too. Okay, so whatever you want, it's true, and depending on which side you are. And I believe more and most people think there has to be something positive. They have that sense. They have
Hmm.
that. Um, I would say judge personal judgment to make up their own decisions and due to the facts and the interactions and the entire journey together. Now we come to know a little bit about each other and our character, and because of that, um, we are obviously working beyond your imagination, but with love. The ultimate motivation. It's not like, oh, we're working hard. Oh God, no, no, no. It's quite a privilege. I love it. I wouldn't do anything else. Okay, as challenging it is, challenging as it is, and brutal sometimes, and nasty. Dirt is thrown at you from every direction, but it's worth it. I just told you one thing can have you own everything,
Yep.
and I gave you the blueprint. So if
Yes.
you're one of those guys, you can do it. And if I have the luxury of time and PowerPoint and all that show you behind the scene, you're just gonna definitely have to replace your pants right now.
I'm telling you,
Okay, refresh.
I already peed.
Okay, but
Oh my
I'm sure you
goodness.
got the idea.
Yes.
So because of that, we're working on something rather powerful, and I will pledge that we are gonna. I'm not gonna say when, but of course this year. Uh, we are going to shock the world, or we're going to shock you, we're going to impress you, and you're going to see that this is really worth uh, the fight, the challenge, the patience, whatever the price is. All right. So I want to remind you, yes, you are right, we are cooking. Okay, but it is going to surprise you. Nothing to the level that you thought. Okay, what you thought good, but because of everything that happened and happening right now, we thought we're going to have to stack the cool, top it off. So basically, include further phases of our vision, bring it back to the front burner rather than it was just like, to get there in a few years or decades or whatever. So now we bring that, and together, I think we're going to make that huge positive impact all over humanity. That's all I wanted to say today. I
Oh
was
boy.
told to come and say hello or hi.